In creativity to graduate future leaders towards sustainable development. So I want to say this is an ongoing study. So the first stage has been completed. So I really wanted to present the data and then the completion of the first stage in front of you. So the presentation outline, I'm talking about these outcomes, literature review, research questions, and then the theoretical background of my study, and then the data presentation, analysis, and then suggestions. Likewise, it goes on. So these will be the outcomes of my presentation, and especially focus on the audience. So they will be able to identify the correlation between the education and then the social and economic development of a nation, and then the role of higher education, especially in the 21st century, and then we'll be able to describe the meaning of creativity and then the importance of creativity, and then so they recognize the meaning of and the development of constructively aligned curriculum to achieve the creativity, and then identify what are the attractive, creative, or you can say active teaching learning techniques what we have to achieve this creativity, and then finally proposing the role, what should be, especially lecturers. So I'm going to discuss based on these key points. So we know now the education, there's a strong correlation between the education with social and economic development of a nation. If you go through Human Development Index, you can see, right, so the high level of human development has been achieved by Norway, and then secondly, this Australia has been achieved it. So likewise, there's a strong correlation between this education and the social economic development of the nation. And then if you take the higher education here, higher education has the biggest role towards developing human capital requirement for the nation to achieve their development target. So if you take the higher education in the 21st century, we can't talk about just a graduate. So we need to talk about the graduates with excellent attributes. If they have those excellent attributes, then they can achieve the challenges, whatever the problems what we have, especially in the 21st century. We know now it's really globalized, as well as the limited resources, but the uses of the resources are getting increased. So everyone faces so many challenges how to get the things done in a right way. So if you talk about the graduate attributes, right, we can, it covers, so in other way we can say that it's core learning outcomes of the core competencies. So it covers mainly knowledge, skills, attitudes, and qualities. So if we talk about the knowledge, skills, and attitudes requirement, right, not just a requirement, but we need to have excellent the knowledge, skills, attitudes to face these challenges. Out of these three main components, the skills and attitudes have been given more priority and importance than the knowledge. I think that's why we know. If you talk about, if you get the Sri Lankan context, there are so many opportunities are available outside, but the graduates, right, they are waiting to find or to get the better job opportunities. But we know so many problems are there behind that. So the skills and the attitudes and the qualities have been given more priority, especially by the private sector. They want more, the graduates with the high soft skills and then positive attitudes and qualities. So the knowledge, of course, it doesn't say that knowledge is not important, but application of the knowledge is really important. So out of these skills and attitudes, I took the creativity as the most important thing that we need to foster among our graduates. So what we can do as the academia, or we'll say the lecturer within a university system, so we can now focus on our curriculum and changes in our courses, and where changes in our, we'll say, or redesigning our courses towards achieving this creativity and fostering creativity in our graduates. So constructive aligned curriculum. So I basically focus on these two theories, Bloom's taxonomy and the 3B models. So we know if I take a specific subject, so that subject curriculum I divide it into two main things, main and the mini. Accordingly, I'm going to do my study. So literature, the same thing I explained just now. So if you take this, the creativity. So it says now creativity is something like, you create meaningful new forms, and it can be defined, uncovers, selects, reshuffles, combines, and synthesizes already existing facts, ideas, faculties, and skills. So that should be there among our graduates. But we know to get that, this the self-assurance and also the ability to take risk, freedom, and flexible and active learning environment has to be created within our classrooms. That's really important. So we now higher education has higher education can help prepare these graduate leaders who can imagine and let this change into the creative actions. So if I talk about my classroom, I know my the degree is a BSc in Social Sciences. The students, I'm doing the lectures. So the research question for the study in my classes, I know that some students, it's a considerable number, sleep, and there are less engagement with the studies, surface learning, all these problems I encountered. So I wanted to get rid from these problems. So that's why I identified the objectives as reducing number of students who sleep, and there are more engagement in the active and creative learning, and also the improvement of their skills, especially soft skills and the attitude. So these are the theoretical framework. As per the Walsh, it says that learning is a product of the students' activities and experience rather than the lecturers. So I wanted to create student-centered learning environment within the classroom. Right? So that was my main focus. And the constructive alignment, when I designing my curriculum, main and the mini, rather than the mini curriculum, I will explain you what is that. So constructive alignment was the main focus. So according to John Biggs, it says that you are aligning intended learning outcomes, teaching learning activities, and assessment tasks together. Right, when you design in the curriculum, so you can see in the middle of this diagram, intended learning outcomes are there. So to achieve these intended learning outcomes, you need to design your teaching learning activities as well as assessment tasks. So then the Bloom's taxonomy, when you design in your intended learning outcomes, you need to be, you need to follow, you can get the support of this Bloom's taxonomy. You know that at the first stages or at the first level, so this, you can give them or impart the basic knowledge, and then so likewise from surface learning to active learning or cognitive learning, you can. There's a way that you need to set your intended learning outcomes. So you can see there are 6 basic levels are there. First 2 are coming under the surface learning, but 3, 4, 5, 6, it's coming under the cognitive or active learning. So more when we design in our learning outcomes, so we can focus on this. So the 3P model, another important thing. So this is another theory I based for my this study. So here, John Biggs, it says that the procedure, process, and product. When you design in your this learning teaching activities, you need to look at 2 important things: students' characteristics as well as teaching context. Student characteristics, we need to know our student very well, otherwise you can't introduce the teaching learning activities. Under that, there are some